Okay, we'll get started. So first of all, what is dimension means? See, let's say you guys would have heard 3D movie and all, right? So what do you mean by 3D? Anybody?
So which are length, breadth, and height.
Okay, very nice. So generally dimension means what? Okay, if you see in normal movies, you see two dimensions, that is y-axis and x-axis. So there is a x-axis and y-axis. So it's like when you see hero, his height and width you see. That is what normally 2D they call. Now what is special in 3D? You see another dimension z, right? The depth of it also. So the same difference between a normal square and a cube, right? So a square you see like this. The moment it becomes a cube, you start seeing the third dimension, right? Now in arrays also, so now why I'm introducing here, your arrays also, your normal arrays, what you learn is called single dimensional array. So which means, let us store four numbers in normal variables. So how do you store four numbers? Something like this. You take four variables, store like this. So your aim is to store four numbers, nothing else. What happens here? You get four memory boxes, but they may be somewhere, right? They are not related to each other. A is somewhere, B is somewhere, C is somewhere, and D is somewhere. Now your data inside got stored. So A20, sorry, B20, C30, and D40, like this. So this is what happened here. Now in single dimensional array, what happened? Int array square bracket equal to, let's say I store the four numbers in an array like this. So why they call this a single dimension? Only x-axis. So if you see, the elements are stored sequentially in next boxes, right? They are next to each other. That is why your array, like your ARR, knows where it is. That's why we're calling it as reference. Your ARR is not that 10, 20, 30, 40. ARR knows where 10, 20, 30, 40 is. It's like this. This is how you have to visualize single dimension. Now what is single dimension? Only x-axis, you see. Now this is like four students are sitting in a table next to each other in one bench. So when I have to call them, how do I call? Hey, first student, second student, third student, fourth student. Here, you know, index starts from 0. That's all. Right? So you call array of 0, right? To access the first element, array of 0, then array of 1, array of 2, array of 3. Right? That's how you access each and every element. Here you access with their name. Right? Each memory has a name unique for them. If you want to access 30, you will call C. So here SOP C will print 30. Here array of 2 will print me 30. Now what is special in two dimensional array? Int array 2. Two square brackets you put becomes two dimensional array. That's all. So one square bracket is one dimension. Now two square brackets equal to, now two dimension means you can actually visualize your matrix. Okay, in mathematics you would have learned a concept called matrix, right? In rows and column wise you can store, right? Same here also. So first let me declare this. Okay, new int of 2 comma 2, same for memory. Now how the memory will be like this. That's it. See, again you're getting 4 box. See, here also you're getting 4 box, here also you're getting 4 box, here also you're getting 4 box. But just that it is in 2 rows and 2 columns. Now suppose, okay, this is your memory allocation. How do you access each element? Now, if you remember, in arrays, what I said, 4 students are sitting in one table. I don't know their names. I want to call one of the student. I'll say third girl stand up or fourth boy stand up, something like that. So I use their position. That is what we call it as index, right? This is what we call it as index. Now, how do I access each box? See, in matrix, if you remember, you may call this as 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, like that. But here, as usual, see, this is our row 0, this is our row 1, this is our column 0, this is our column 1. That's it. So if you want to access this 0 comma 0, 0 comma 1, 1 comma 0, 1 comma 1. So which means in array 2 of 0 comma 0 you can put 10. So what this does is it goes and stores the number 10 right here. So here in single dimensional array you use one index. Here you are giving which row, which column. Array 2 of 0 comma 1. Now I am accessing second box where I am storing this one.
Sir, if there are more number of rows and columns, then what, sir?
More number meaning?
Rows and columns.
We can go for as many we want, right? So see, why I kept this my first introduction with 2 is, in normal variables I stored 4 numbers. In a single dimensional array also I stored 4 numbers. In double dimensional array also I'm doing the same. So for me 4 numbers I have to store. In normal variables how I achieve it, in a single dimensional array how I achieve it, in a double dimensional array how I achieve it. That's all difference. So finally what? You're storing numbers. Which one you want, you choose. See, let's say if somebody doing a movie booking as a project, right? Now seat selection will be how? Hey, in which row, which column? Hey, in A, okay, book me 2 seats in A1 and 2. So you tell 2 things, right? You can't tell first and second seat. In which row, right? In this row, which column? Whenever you want to represent your data that way, you go for double dimensional array. So, I mean, coming to your question, I don't know what exactly your question is. See, I declare an array, double dimension, new int of, I can go for any number of rows, any number of columns. See, if I declare like this, what it means is Java is giving me 4 rows and 2 columns, right? This you can decide, because the same you may ask for 2 rows and 4 columns also, right? That is up to you. But now how many rows you ask, that many rows. How many columns you ask, that many columns. Does that answer?
Yes, sir.
See, int a, square bracket, square bracket, square bracket, square bracket. I can go on and on and on, right? But don't worry about that. But I'm just telling you Java is multi-dimension. So equal to, because you would have seen, right, 7D movie and all, they'll say there, hey, I'll spray water on you, air on you, the chairs will shake. So every different feel you get is a dimension, right? Something like that. So that's where it is multi-dimension. So how many rows and how many columns? This is the syntax of two-dimensional array declaration. Declaration, you understand, all of you? How many rows, how many columns? Okay, now let's go to initialization. We put it in flower brackets, right? Because if you see here, I purposely stopped doing initialization here because I had to explain you that slowly. So let's say you have 6 numbers to store in a double dimensional array. Okay, so let's imagine you want to store 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. Okay, in single dimensional array you just store like this. You put it in flower brackets, done, you initialized it. Okay, so you got 6 boxes and you stored it. It's easy. But in double dimensional array you have multiple options with you. It's up to you, you can decide. See, 2 square brackets, 1 big curly braces for the overall array. Then I have to split the rows and columns as how I want it. Okay, so for example, I put 1 more curly braces, 1 comma 2 comma 3 in one of it, and then 4 comma 5 comma 6. See, same 6 numbers only. You know what this means? 2 rows, 3 columns. Got it? So your numbers are stored like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6. Hint, see 2 square bracket, flower bracket, overall. Inside, hey, 1 comma 2, again 3 comma 4, again 5 comma 6. So means what? Now it has become 3 rows, 2 columns. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So same 6 numbers only, but I can store however I want. So the inner flower brackets helps you to decide the row split, right? How many rows? There is one overall flower bracket, that is as usual you put like your single dimensional array, but inside, okay, this is an array of data. In that I am splitting how many rows and columns I want. This is how you initialize. So initialization will get 2 flower brackets in double dimensional array, right? In single dimensional array you just put one, open and close, write all your data, because it's only one dimension, right? Only x-axis, next to each other it's going to store. Maybe we will add 3 more numbers, 7 comma 8 comma 9. So which means there are 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, 7 8 9. So this is your 2-dimensional array where you stored 9 numbers in a 3 cross 3 matrix format. So let's say this same matrix format you print it in the screen. So the first program we are going to do is print this in the screen in a matrix format. Like if I see the output 1 space 2 space 3, next line 4 space 5 space 6, next line 7 space 8 space 9. So this is my output which I am expecting. Okay, I want to print like this. Now let's, because it's the first program, I want everyone to realize on the index position properly. How do I print 1? Is like system.out.print array of 0 comma 0, right? So if you want to access the first element, you are saying in 0th row 0th column you print. Maybe it has to look beautiful, maybe we will keep a gap here so that a space comes, it looks nice. Otherwise 1 2 maybe read as 12 also, right? So If it has to look good, one space. Then how do I print the next number? 0, 1. How do I print the next number? 0, 2. So the row remains 0, right? Now our target is this row 0, right? This is our row 0, and we are going to each and every column, right? This is our column, which is 0, 1 and 2. So 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. This alone changes to 0, 1, 2. And you know, we won't be writing 3 system.out.println to print 3 numbers. We can put it in a for loop. So for int column equal to 0, column less than or equal to 2, column plus plus. So write only one statement, remove the other two, just this second square bracket, change it to C. Yeah, so I'll run this. See, you see 1, 2, 3 in the screen. 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. Now you can visualize this like our pattern only. Now anyway I have to come to next line, right? So I need a system.out.println. So I printed my first row, all the elements. Then to go to next row, right? So you know, right? If I have to go to row number 1, then what changes? This 0 changes to 1. So now what I have to do again? 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, right? In this row, I have to access all the elements. See, your standard programs in matrix is row sum, column sum, diagonal sum, matrix addition. This is how even your 15-mark questions comes. It's very, very easy. Once you understand 2 indexes you have to play with, you're done. See, your single dimensional array is 1 index you move. In double dimensional array, you have to care about 2 indexes. So my row changes to 1. Again, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. Now if I have to access the next row, row 2. Again, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. So again, my row has to change 0, 1, 2. So that brings me out of our loop. So int r equal to 0, r less than or equal to 2, r plus plus, open. So this whole thing is inside that, close. This becomes r. So hey, start from first row, go all the columns, print horizontally, come to the next line, then go to the next row, print all the columns, come to the next line, third row, print all the columns, come to the next line. There you will see your matrix format output. See, none of your single dimensional array program you would have written without a for loop. Agree? One for loop, so for sure. Okay, print all the elements of the array, you need a for loop. Read 10 numbers from the array and put it in an array, you need a for loop. So why? Because the index goes 0, 1, 2, 3 till the length of the array. So same here, your double dimensional array requires 2 loops, because one, see, I intentionally, instead of our I and all, I wrote the variable name r and c so that you feel it. This is the row movement, this is the column movement, right? See, I have seen people doing mistake, right? See, suppose if this is 2 cross 3, then they'll get confused which is 2, which is 1. See, now there are, see, I took a square matrix, so both number of rows also same, number of columns also same. So both I had put easily 2, 2. Now, can you tell me which should be 1, which should be 2?
So R should be 1.
And column should be 2.
Yeah. Correct. So you go only 2 times because there are only 2 rows, but column wise we have 3. So maybe a non-square matrix, if you write, your understanding gets better, because you know how many rows. Okay, this is my outer loop which takes care of how many rows, and my inner loop takes care of in that row how many columns. So now what it is, there are 3 rows. So rows has to be 0 to 2. See, suppose if you wrongly do it, what will happen? You will get array index out of bound exception. If you write something wrong, see, you get array index out of bound exception. Because now what's happening? 0 0 0 1, it will try for 0 2, right? Because column also goes till 2. So the third in that row is not there, right? There is no index called 0, 0 comma 2. So that's where you need to know it. So column, there are only 2 now. So column wise there are 2, rows are 3. Again, like I said, in single dimension these things are there. Like one square bracket can be this side, one can be that side, or both can be this side, right? This is syntax wise okay. As long as finally it has 2 square brackets, it is fine, right? And in terms of declaration, you can't give them empty, right? I already said you have to tell how many rows, how many columns, right? Then only it can allocate memory for you. It is your wish, but remember the first number what you mention is the number of rows, the second is your number of columns. Same while accessing also, the first index is your which row and second is your which column.
Sir, what if while initializing, the first bracket has 2 numbers and the second bracket has 3 numbers?
Yeah, that's a very good doubt. So it's like this. See, in matrix, right, you, I think, never write like this. Let's say 1 2 3, only 4 5 in the second one, whereas 6 7 8 9. This you never write in matrix like this, right? If you see, like this guy has 4 numbers, here there are 2 missing, here there is 1 missing, right? This is not a practice in your mathematical matrix, right? But not for Java, right? Because see, this is not designed for matrix. It is a concept Java has. We are utilizing it for matrix, right? That's how you should see it as. So its doubt is something like this. I have an array where I initialize, let's say the same I will do. In the first row, 1 comma 2 comma 3. Second, I written only 2 numbers, which is ideally wrong, right? See, how can like, first row has 3 and then second has only 2. And third, I'm purposely going to put 4 numbers, 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9. Okay? This is wrong representation in terms of a matrix, but it is correct in Java. Narasimha, this is your doubt, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is very well valid in Java.
Sir, can it be like 4 and 5? Can we keep it in the index 2 and 3?
Not getting.
Can we change the index? Like 4 will be 0 and 5 will be 1. Can 4 be 2 and 5 be 3?
Okay, wait. See, to access this elements, how you'll be accessing a of 0 0, right? This will give you 1, correct? You tell me
Yes, sir.
what you're asking. To access this 0 comma 1.
Yes, sir.
To access this 0 comma 2. Okay, now you tell me. To access 4, it should be a of 1 comma 0.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you tell me what it is. So to access this,
Can we
yeah,
can we do it like 1 comma 3 or 1 comma 2 while initializing it?
no, I cannot change the index. No,
Can we do like comma 4, something like that?
oh, you want to give empty like this, like this?
Yes, sir, something like
No,
that.
no, 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 no. See,
So it will
positions.
be default from 0.
Yeah, positions you cannot change. See, it's like, okay, now I understand what you're asking. So Sir, instead of starting from 0, let it be 3, 4, 5 like positions. Now that you cannot change.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So to access this, it's definitely 1, 0 only. The other one will be 1, 1 only. So 2, 1 to access 7, 2, 2 to access 8, 2, 3 to access 9. This is how you access. But actually, you may have another valid doubt now from here. How do you write for loop to print this? Now each row number of column is changing, right? One row has 3 columns, another row has 2 columns, another row has 4 columns, right? How will I print it in a for loop? So the solution Java gives is, see, you are writing a row loop, row equal to 0, row less than or equal to a dot length, let's say -1 as usual. So a dot length gives you number of rows, okay, automatically 3 you will get because of index 0, 0 to 1 less. So number of rows over. You know how to determine number of columns? Column equal to 0, column less than or equal to, see, a of in that row dot length. That's it. So even each row number of columns varies, this guy will take care. So because what you are doing, a of 0's length, a of 1's length, a of 2's length. Actually, you know how this is working out for Java? For him, it is like 3 single dimensional arrays. You know, maybe in the next session I'll show you the memory concepts here, right? How it maps and how it scales to, you know, any number of dimensions. Is from Java's perspective, this is one single dimensional array, this is another single dimensional array, this is another single dimensional array. That's all for him. So each single dimensional array can obviously be of different length, right? You don't care, right? So this guy can have 10 numbers, this guy can have only 2 numbers, this guy can have 100 numbers, doesn't matter. So that is how he is able to take care of each row having different number of columns, because for him we are, see, only for our understanding it is row, column and all, but for him internally it is 3 single dimensional arrays. See, now you see single dimension makes more sense, right? See only this much, it's a single dimension. See only this much is a single dimension. See only this much is a single dimension. 3 single dimensions you've wrapped into another array, that's all. So now see, each row that length, that's it. See, now my program will not care about how many row, how many columns, it will automatically print. See, the same matrix format, that program I'm writing, see the output. See, first row 3 columns, second row only 2, third row 4th, it took care. So I didn't write fixedly the index. Let's say you have another normal single dimensional array. Instead of this, that k you write also, it's correct. See, that's right. Because since you are the first batch to have double dimensional array, how complicated it will be, I don't know. But I'm just telling you, see, this one flower bracket is a single dimensional array. That's how I proved you already. See, now when k is a single dimensional array, I can just put k. So instead of writing this, I have another single dimensional array which I can put. So see, it's like k comma k comma k, right? So you see the answer now, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, right? So many single dimensions you are wrapping in double dimension. That's another angle of looking at it. See, row and column is like your, because you know in max matrix I've related like a row column, but from a programming perspective, if you see, single dimensional array is okay, k knows the starting address like that, but now a knows starting address of many single dimensional arrays. Now that each single dimensional array knows where those respective elements are. So that is where Java can scale for multi-dimensional. So obviously when you have an array which can be of various different size also, right? So you have another array like this. If you refer that, so obviously your second row will have these many numbers. Now I may have another, let's say B array with only one number, let's say 0. Now that is my third row. So my first row is this, my second row is this, my third row is this, right? So now what this conveys is your double dimension is nothing but he can hold many single dimensions. That's it. See, first row, second row, third row. This is totally how many single dimensions? This is in that dimension, what is the length? So this length and each case length, m's length, b's length varies. Narsima, is this clarifies?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.